an age of piracy, captains bury treasure, hunt down relics, find true love, and clash with nemesis as strange creatures gather across the Caribbean. Endless adventures await. Are you a brazen cutthroat or a rogue with a heart of gold? Your choices matter, for ancient powers awaken and lost civilizations return. Oceans rise and empires fall as shifting tides create uneasy alliances, and the fate of the Caribbean hangs in the balance. Myths come to life, and legends are made in Sea of Legends.
Hey everyone, Will here from Mature Minded Gamers, and today I am joined by Eric.
Hey everybody.
We are going to be discussing Sea of Legends. This one is from Zach Wiseman. He is the lead designer and co-founder of GuildHall Studios. This is a swashbuckling narrative board game, and boy howdy do I love narrative, story-driven board games, and I like pirates.
Ever since I played Sid Meier's Pirates on my Tandy 1000 SX, back when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, I have loved pirate games. And that has not stopped. And I mean, I'm a 38-year-old man, and I'm still in love with pirate games.
38-year-old man-child.
Man-child, yes.
What is the name of that MMO? That pirate MMO?
Oh, the one that we were beta and alpha testers for, and I still have the drinking glass somewhere.
I was looking for mine. Pirates of the Burning Sea.
That's right. I couldn't remember the name of it either.
We love that game. Absolutely.
No, we didn't. I wanted to love that game so bad. It had so much potential, and just wasn't quite there.
No. See, that's the problem is, you get all these companies making these pirate-themed games, and, man, I don't really feel like anybody has ever gotten it exactly how I see it in my head, I guess. But, hey, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say real quick, Sea of Thieves is the closest I've been. I like the game a lot. But anyways, we're talking about Sea of Legends.
Right.
Which looks like the board game version of a game that I'm super excited for, because it is that board game version, right?
It seems so.
It's going to be the game that we want. I think this every game, and I have no reason not to think it on this one.
I really hope this one does well.
It's got good-looking miniatures, colorful cards. I'll be honest, you know how I am. It's got dice. You know how I am with dice. But
I know you hate the dice.
I have faith that I'm going to roll strong because this is a pirate-themed game. I like that there's different sizes of miniatures. It looks like a sea monster perhaps there, but we're going to get more into that. Go ahead. Break us down, Will.
All right, so this one here, Sea of Legends, again, it is a narrative-driven sandbox game, 1 to 4 players, so be able to play solo. It has me jazzed up. It has $175,000 raised of a $75,000 goal, 1,552 backers currently with 27 days to go, so you definitely have time to get in on this one. Today being the 6th of May. I'm excited. So let's go ahead and dive right into the Kickstarter page here, ages 14 and up. About 40 minutes a player. The map. What do you think of this map? It looks pretty awesome, actually.
It looks kind of small. So you can see the grids pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit worried that you're going to, especially with 4 players, you're not going to have enough space. But I don't know how the movement really works, so it could be fine depending on how they handle all that.
Right. But in my opinion, I don't really think you'd want too much space, or because if you can't get across the board to where you need to be able to like attack someone or whatever, I mean, this prevents turtling that way. But I don't know. I'm not sure how the game 100% works right now, so let's just keep on diving in. All right, so this one, let's see here. Choose wisely. You got some legends, fickle winds, 400 unique stories. Wow, that is quite a bit. Multiple paths to victory. So you got some Kickstarter exclusive. You save $20 off the base pledge from when you versus retail. That's awesome. Save $30 when you do the all-in. Okay. All right, so it looks like the base game pledge is $90, 13 unique sculpts, 36 total miniatures, over 250 cards, and over 400 unique adventures. You know, I like the style of the box. It looks like a an old book, and I like
I,
that.
I was looking at that too. I like it as well. I wonder how it all packages inside of that book, though. Hopefully, it's got some nice storage.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think how big that book would be, right? The
Right.
all-in pledge is $155. It's almost doubles the content. You got 24 unique sculpts, 64 total miniatures, over 350 cards, and over 800 unique adventures. That is a lot of story, which could be a good thing here. All right.
So I'm just gonna say I don't like games that have a very high entry, which so that's a little disappointing. $90 is high to me.
The cost itself.
Right. Um, it does look high quality though, so that's fine. Like I think it's probably worth it. However, me being a cheaper side gamer, I would like there to be maybe a version that has cheaper components, that a little more easy to get into. What I like to do with some board games, and I've done this with a few, not a lot, but it's mostly just me. But I'll buy the cheap versions of a game, and then if I see a collector's edition come out later, or maybe like a reprint that has nicer pieces, if I like that game, I'm gonna buy the nicer version, because I've played my version and I know it's good and I like it and I plan to keep playing it eventually, when when my kids get older and when I have new people over to introduce games to,
Sure.
that's when I'm gonna break it out.
See, I always for Kickstarters, I always have the FOMO. I'm worried that I'm going to miss out on that Kickstarter exclusive thing that's going to like really change the game and make it that much cooler. It's that cool factor for me. And I'm a sucker for miniatures. I like what I'm seeing here so far because it doesn't look like I'm going to have just piles and piles and piles of useless plastic. Now, be serious, it's all useless, but I'm talking about like you actually have game components that aren't just feeling totes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Combat. All right. So each turn you may move and take one of the three possible actions: attack, visit a port, go on an adventure. You gather your dice, utilize your cruise ship items and lover abilities to gain the advantages, but your nemesis will interfere. So keep your wits about you as you face down mythical monsters and evil empires. I can dig that. There's a tavern. We definitely love. We definitely love that. I know, one of the groups that you and I used to belong to a long time ago. We used to call ourselves the Drunken.
That's right. We like a good beer here and there.
Absolutely.
So one thing I find interesting, I don't know if you've covered this yet, is there's gonna be a companion app. They have over 26 writers crafting 400 unique stories. Did you mention that?
Haven't gotten that far yet. So let's move on down there, past to some videos here. Past all the components, skip all the way past here. All right, so what Eric was talking about was the Endless Adventures. You have an app. So one of the things they talked about in the some of the facts or whatever, the updates, is that the company that is actually working on this app is, they talked about, even if they go under or they are at least going to support this app for 5 years from the launch of the game. Now, this is a smaller company, and I know a lot of people are kind of getting worried about, what happens if the company goes under? What are we going to do? And if you don't have the app, you cannot play this game with like the stories because there is no booklet for this one. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I always like to see them supporting it, and when you allow the community to help, you're gonna get endless support. There's gonna be people who are gonna love this game, and they're gonna keep making new content for it. So I think it's cool that they're doing that because, I mean, I'll be honest, as a software person, I can tell you it's not hard to support an app when you can use community fed content. So you do have to have somebody there to filter it to make sure it's not something offensive to people. But
Okay,
I think it's an easy and smart way to do it.
so I guess I'm confused. What do you mean by community content?
Well, they said that you could do community. Let me make sure I read that right. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, I'd like to see where I was seeing or where you saw that, because what I had read that after 5 years they were going to release the source code. Hmm.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It is not community. I mistook the 26 riders covering over 400 unique stories. So my fault. I'm wrong about that. You can erase all that out of the podcast.
So let's talk about the crew here. You've got a lot of people that are not new to the industry working on this game for the core writing team. You also have a whole slew of guest writers. You'll definitely recognize some of these names as well. James Sutter, Jason Morningstar, Matt O'Brien, Orion Black. I mean, you have a lot of just raw talent in this as well. And then artists. I mean, look at all these artists that came in and going to be working on different components for this game. I mean, the game absolutely looks stunning. So let's go back up on the page and let's talk more about the tavern, which we were getting into. So at the tavern, you're going to be able to find a hideout, bury gold while your crew can rest and relax. Or maybe you just need a bigger ship, then stop at the shipyard and get yourself a fancy new vessel. Got a hiring hall. Oh my goodness, lots of cool things you could do. So it's not just, you know, moving your ship around fighting, which I think is pretty cool. You bury treasure. I'm always down for that.
I definitely hate games that shoehorn you into one way to play. So as long as it's balanced and you can win multiple ways, you don't have to be great at combat to win. Then I like that a lot. And if the game does do that, it's fine as long as it tells you. Does that make sense? As long as you know, as long as everybody knows right from the start. I hate starting a game and strategizing away in my head how I'm going to play this game, and then I come to find out this mechanic is broken, or this mechanism, or however you want to call it. This whole being a good guy doesn't work. You really need to raid everybody, and I wasn't doing it. And you find out about halfway through the game, and then it's too late. I hate that.
All right, so the base game pledge of $90 is going to get you 4 captains. You got Captain Kahina, Captain Kasare, Captain Spell, Captain Tun. These models look pretty awesome. I'm not really sure if I'm sold on the Captain Kahina, like the sculpt.
I was going to say, I like that they're different. They don't necessarily look like, I mean, Captain Spell kind of looks like what I would imagine, but the rest of them, none of them really look like a pirate captain, if that makes sense.
Right? And Captain Tun looks like Maui.
Exactly. I was going to say it looks like somebody from Conan, but yeah, Maui's a better example. Captain Kahuna, or however you said that, Kahina. She looks like Prince of Persia almost,
Well, she reminds me more of Emperor's New Groove. I can't remember his name, the actual emperor, before he got...
Oh, yeah. I see that.
Cusco? Is it Cusco?
Yep, I think that's right.
Yeah.
I like the Lovers and Nemesis on down.
8 double-sided Terracide Lover Nemesis cards. Each character can be played as a lover or nemesis. They may change on you during the game too. That's pretty cool. Huh.
I like the artwork, and I like the look like there's a lot of variety too.
Right. That's the thing, is it's got that cartoony feel, but it's not flamboyantly cartoony.
Right.
I do like it. Sorry, there's different factions. You got the Spanish Armada. The ships look really awesome. The British Empire. You got a British admiral. Some faction cards. Some naval officers. That's really cool. The Children of Talak. I don't even know how to say that. The Sea's Firstborn. A 95mm model. That's crazy. Morphle Guardians. More cards. The Dread Tide. A 98mm model Colossus. Some Undead Soldiers. The Atlanteans. Some dude riding a fish. That's the Atlantean King in Exile. There's only 4 miniatures in this Atlanteans faction, though. I wonder what the difference is here between like the factions and then the captains. Like, is the captain really just your leader, like your avatar, if you will, and then you can also partner up with these? Or you think these are like the NPCs?
That's a good question. I can see it going both ways, to be honest. But you do have to have a crew, so I'm going to lean more towards it being your crew or your faction.
The components down here, you got 50 tavern cards, 40 crew cards, 22 ship cards to be able to upgrade your ship. That's cool. Looks like you've got your shot, your sail, and then your melee. Okay, got 16 dice, 4 player tokens, 60 gold tokens. I could really see that being an upgrade of metal, going to metal. Some forts, wound markers, faction guides, rulebook. Then you also have the 23-inch by 11.5-inch game board. That's kind of small. What do you think on that?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it does only play 4 players, so you can get it in there. I tend to like a game that has a small footprint.
Sure.
But like I said earlier, I'm a little bit concerned about map size. But who knows? It may be fine.
Right, but when you think about the $90 price tag, does that concern you? For such a small footprint game? Do you think that all that plastic, if they just had tokens, would it...
Well, like I said, I like a game that has a cheaper version, so I would much rather pay $40 for one that has tokens than miniatures myself.
Sure.
I would probably back that right away, but
So the all-in... Go ahead, sorry.
A little harder for me to justify 90 plus shipping, you know.
Sure. So the all-in pledge, 155. You get 4 more minis. You got Captain Grimwald, Captain Jack, Captain Matchlock, and Captain Liu. These ones, I like these models. I like these models a lot better.
Yeah, they look like they're they took them up to a whole new level almost.
Right.
Especially the monsters on down, like they look really good.
So the Ordo Nocturus, these additional factions. You got the Aztec Reawakening. 110 millimeter model. That's crazy.
Those captains look more like what I was thinking. That first set of captains, as we were talking earlier, these look more like pirate captains.
The Sea's Fury, and then the Harpy's Descent, just one model, 104 millimeter model. And again, we get into the app, so some reviews to be able to check out. All right, some stretch goals, new tavern cards, Ishmael, the Mad Mariner. I don't really understand what this is. Oh, it's a lover or nemesis. So it looks probably just a card. Faction upgrades. Okay. Huh. Soundtrack. What do you think about soundtracks for games? Does it immerse you?
Some games need it. But I don't really... I've never been big on that. I've never thought, oh my god, this game is the best game because of the soundtrack. But some games, it definitely adds to the atmosphere. I do have a hard time with board games getting into a soundtrack. Mm-hmm. But, there's nothing wrong with it, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. First game that I ever got that actually had a soundtrack was Fortune and Glory from Flying Frog Games. Or, excuse me, Flying Frog Productions. And when I opened it up and I saw the soundtrack, I was like, really? And then I put it in and we were playing it while we were listening to the soundtrack, and it just immersed you a little bit more. I just thought it was fun. And then several of their other games do the same thing. I just think that's just I think it's a nice touch. You get a new Admiral and then Magpie, the Bird Brain at 180 and 205. So pretty close to the next stretch goal. Shipping itself, all in pledged, only $25. That's not too bad. I mean, if you go all in at 155, I mean, you're looking at $180 for everything. What do you think? I mean, $180, you get a lot of content.
This is, and I say this a lot, this is a game that I probably am not going to back unless I back the big boy.
Right.
Which is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but I really think for the $155, the 800 different story mode, or the different stories, the unique adventures that you can have, and the different combinations, it looks like, of every time you play, it's going to be a completely different game because of how the story can like branch off with like which lever you have, which captain you're using, how you upgrade, how the tavern cards turn out. I think this could be a fun one, and I think it has the ability to be very versatile and replayable. So, I think this is one that, yep, I actually backed it at $1. I'm probably going to think on this one just a little bit longer. I do like it. I would like to see as things progress, what else they talk about in the updates and everything. So we'll just kind of play this one by ear. I've got 27 days to fully make my commitment. I'm not the kind that likes just back in at $1 and wait. I like to either go all in or not at all. So, all right. Any final thoughts?
I really hope you back it because I do want to play it.
As you always want me to back every single game that we talk about, because then you don't have to pay for it.
I really want them to send us a review copy
That would be amazing.
so we can do a full review.
That would be fantastic to be able to do a full review of this one. We definitely like pirate games. So, all right, everyone. That was Sea of Legends from GuildHall Studios. This has been a Mature Minded Gamers production. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you like what you see here. We do a lot of other things as well, video games, and board games, and much more on maturemindedgamers.com. And until then, we will talk to you soon, and we'll see you at the table.